Welcome back to Maintenance Minute. I'm Jim V. Brock. Normally we're in Southwest Missouri, but today we are in Central Florida working on a project house. This is a mid-1980s trailer that we have completely redone the kitchen, starting from the floor joist all the way up. Today we're going to stomp the ceiling. Let's get started. Okay, as you can tell, we're now inside this new space that was kitchen. This room has been rearranged a little bit. We had to fix the floor in here because it was really bad. Most of these early trailers are built with a particle board flooring. If it gets wet at all, then that particle board begins to deteriorate. We literally had hazards here where you could stick your foot through the floor. So we took that flooring up, we put new 3/4 inch tongue and groove flooring down, we took it all the way down to the studs, we rewired this space, we replumbed this space, we rearranged this space, and as you can see, the drywallers have pretty much started. They're in their second coat, they're about done here. We're gonna put a flooring down here in just a little bit, but before that I wanted to stomp this ceiling and show you how easy this is to do. Now, some of you are going to have popcorn ceilings in your home, and right now the trend is to remove the popcorn ceilings. It's really easy to do that. So what you would do is get you a 1-gallon sprayer from your favorite big box retailer, fill it up with straight water, and you're going to pump it up, and you're literally going to spray the ceiling, the popcorn ceiling, and douse it really well. Let it sit for 2-3 minutes, and then take a blade, a drywall blade, similar to this, the wider the better, and you're going to put it about a 30-degree angle, and you're going to just scrape along the ceiling like this. It should come off very easy. If it doesn't, do the water trick one more time. Spray it again with your 1-gallon sprayer, pure water, let it sit 3 or 4 minutes, and then try again. And it ought, like I say, it ought to just completely scrape off nice and easy when you do that. If it doesn't, if it's really hard to come off, that means somebody has painted that ceiling somewhere over the history of the home. That's unfortunate, but it's the same process for you to get it peeled off. It's just going to be a lot more work because you're physically going to have to break that seal that the latex paint has created. The latex paint is protecting it from getting wet when you spray it so that it can't soften the joint. Drywall mud will come off very easily if it gets wet. That's what you're trying to do. So good luck with that. We have the privilege of brand new construction here. So you can see the drywallers have come along. All of the joints are done. The nail holes are fixed. The beautiful thing about stomping a ceiling is that it will cover a lot of your sins or a lot of the mistakes that you made as you did the drywalling if you had done this yourself. This is one of the things that I love about this texturing technique, and I just think it's pretty. So what we're going to need is a couple of tools, and I have them here before we get started. You've already had your drywalling tools out, so you've got your mud tray, a couple of different sizes of drywall knives. This one is a 10-inch knife. This one is a 4-inch knife. We're going to use a 4-inch knife again here in just a minute. You're going to need a stomping brush. These are kind of neat. You buy these at the big box retailers. They're about 20-25 bucks. You'll need a rod with that. You're going to need a little bit of water. You're going to need a pail of drywall mud. Then you're going to need a regular paint tray and a roller. And what we're going to do here is we're going to mix this mud down to a mayonnaise-like consistency because we're going to pour it in here and we're actually going to paint this on the ceiling. You don't want it runny, but you need it thinner than it comes in the tub. The original tub's going to be ready for like your first coat. So it's okay to put water in this, and then you're going to need a drill of some kind because you just ain't got the strength to do this by hand. So I'm going to add just a little bit more water to this. I've been mixing on it just a little bit, and it won't take much. I would do it like 2 ounces at a time and then just blend that in there really good. So give me a few minutes. We're going to blend this down. Like this. Okay, I think we're about where we need to be. We can always add a little more water if we need to moving on. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to take my mudding tray and my 4-inch knife that we've been using all morning long. And I'm going to just put some of this in here. And you can tell it's kind of like mayonnaise. It's like a little thing. We may have to put a little more water in that before we're done. And keep in mind, we're going to use a lot of mud for this process. So just start with a full tub because you're going to use it. Trust me. You're going to use it. So there we go. Got some in there. We're going to come to our first corner. I got to get my glasses on so I can see what I'm doing. And very similar to doing your taping, we're going to take this 4-inch knife and we're just going to cut this in. That's what they call this, is cutting it in. You're just literally about 1/8 of an inch deal. And as you go along, you can clean it up. So we're just going to do this all the way around the perimeter of where we're working. Nice thin coat all along here. Don't worry about it getting on the floor. By the way, it's a good tip to have your room completely empty and something on your floor if you have a finished flooring, because this would be hard to get out of carpet or tile if you had it. But that's what we're doing. We're simply just moving along here very quickly with this, with the drywall knife. We're not trying to smooth it out. This is a base coat. We're literally going to paint the ceiling with the drywall mud. That's what the roller's for. And we want to do this in sections that you can do relatively quickly. If it's a hot day or you have a lot of air movement, this will dry. So you want to do it in sections. You don't want to try and do the whole floor, ceiling, I mean, all at once. And keep in mind, you can just go along here and clean this up like this as you go. You're going to get some of this on the ceiling when you, or on the walls when you stomp it as well. After I did my cut in, I decided I needed a little more water in there. Then I realized I didn't show you. This is a paint mixer here that I'm using on the end of that. Of course, it's full of mud right at the moment, but that's a paint mixer. Makes that way easier to use. We're going to flop some of this in here. And this is going to feel really weird because it'll be very thick for a paint-like consistency. But that's what you're not looking for it to be as thin as paint, because you're not looking for that coverage. Okay, and you're going to get dirty with this process. Just understand that. Okay, so you can see it's sticky. It's sticking to my paintbrush, and as that brush gets full, it'll stick even more. But you're going to come back over here then, and you're going to start, and you're just going to literally paint the ceiling with this. And this is to guarantee even coverage of the drywall mud on the ceiling is the purpose for this. So now we're going to take our brush, we're just going to stomp it in there good, get good coverage on it. And you're going to take it over here to your starting point, and you're just going to literally stomp your texture into the ceiling. Now, if you don't like how thick or thin it is, you can always go back and pull it again. Get some more. And like an artist, you're just going to blend this in all the way across the room the way you like it. This is my favorite part. This blends the ununiformity, if that's a word, of the roller and blends it into where it's all the same. It's kind of like making an upside down meringue pie. If you want the heavy whip, you have the heavy whip. If you want the light whip, you do the light whip. It's all up to you and how many times you blend it in. And rotate your brush as you're doing it. And it makes a beautiful ceiling.
Repeat this process all the way across the room. When you are finished, let the drywall mud dry completely. Once the ceiling is dry, it should be a bright white. There's no need to paint the ceiling. There are more home repair videos on my channel, and be sure to check out the blog section of maintenanceminute.net.
Are you interested in woodworking or home repair? If so, please look at maintenanceminute.net. Hi, I'm Jim V. Brock, and I'm the host of Maintenance Minute. From my website, you can watch videos on how to build a variety of arts and crafts projects, full-on woodworking builds, and home repair and remodeling tips, too. We recently added an archive section where you can see over 40 years of projects that I have built. Please take a moment and visit maintenanceminute.net.